I feel like the atmosphere is really electric. I mean, listen to it right now, and this is the last day of the show.
Well, it's a great chance for us to gather new business and see what's new in the industry.
See you at the next IT Expo.
We'll be here.
Hey, it's Rich Tehrani. We're at MSP Expo 2019 in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, part of the ITEXPO Super Show. Greg Campbell's with us. He's with Yottabyte. And Greg, welcome to the show. How are you?
Good, how are you? Thank you.
Fantastic. So tell us about your company.
Yeah, so Yottabyte is a software company, and we build a full cloud stack. So it's everything you need to operate a cloud, in particular for an MSP. So we install bare metal, and we provide you with all the storage, the compute, virtualization, all your networking, firewalls, backups, DR. So typically things that you'd be buying a dozen different products, stitching them together, dealing with all the problems and interoperability. We give you all of that, and it's all presented in a nice package that's meant for MSPs or large enterprises that act like service providers. So you've got a nested tenancy model, and you can basically virtualize the entire data center. You hit start, you've got a full complete bubble of resources that has everything you need, and it's all in this portable container that you can move around and do whatever you want with. So it's very powerful.
So instant private cloud, sort of.
Basically, yeah. So basically that legacy model of stitching together all the components, it's now been virtualized at the complete data center stack. So it enables an MSP to get all the benefits of the public cloud, but still be able to operate on their own gear in a colo or on-prem, or be able to establish a hybrid scenario where maybe they become the public cloud, but can still have customers run off of their locations either as the backup site to the public cloud, or vice versa, and kind of DR and backup to the cloud. So lots of flexibility and power, and it kind of does all the heavy lifting for you, so you can concentrate on the applications at upper level and let the software take care of all the heavy lifting and redundancies and balancing and everything else.
Any tips for MSPs looking to get involved with private cloud and that kind of business line?
Definitely go with the software route. Having to put out fires in the middle of the night. I mean, most of the issues that we deal with all kind of stem from some hardware failure. Hardware's gonna fail. It's just, that's what happens. So having some nice intelligent software that could take care of that, make some predictions for you, and also just handle the inevitable, it is gonna fail, so that things aren't blowing up and you can stay operating all the time. And I mean, that's really what it's all about. And this software is pretty new to the market. And they just never really had these options before. So it was a lot of stitching together and a lot of legwork that they had to do that you just don't have to do that anymore.
What about pricing? How does that work?
So we actually have some very flexible pricing models. Understanding that you kind of got that legacy model of buying software, owning the license, and as an MSP, that can be a challenge because you're trying to predict where you're going to go. You're usually charging somebody maybe on a monthly rate or a scalable model, so it gets very difficult to have to buy that way. So we do offer that traditional way, but we also allow for a consumption model in our software pricing. So basically you can start off with your scale out hardware, so you're not having to buy ahead, you buy just what you need, and then you put the software on there, and as you start to bring on customers, we can bill you for slivers of the software that are kind of tied as a consumption model. So it makes it a lot easier for you to predict what your costs are and kind of bake that into whatever fees you're charging your customers.
And that could be a challenge, right? Trying to figure that out ahead of time, just because of one company just using a ton of resources one month and not the next, or a lot of bandwidth. Absolutely.
And like I said, if you're kind of buying off of that capacity, and then you're constantly battling, that capacity planning, and unless you're maximizing your capacity and selling it 100% all the time, it gets really hard to predict what those costs are going to be. So we allow you to be able to not only scale up as your company's growing, but also scale back, on the fly as things kind of contract and shrink, so that you're not paying for stuff that you're not using.
Anything else we should know?
We're here at the show. Come see us at the booth, and check us out online, www.yottabyte.com. And we're here to help MSPs stay profitable and maximize the revenue in a changing world with the cloud.
Thanks for being here.
Thank you very much.